Laughing about this not very long ago. One Christmas, Mama had picked cotton all fall to get enough money for her and I to go to California. Well, as usual, we drove from where we lived to Lubbock, or Loveland,
Levelland.
where Lloyd and Lucille lived, and we were going the rest of the way with them. And Uncle Lloyd was packing that car. Well, we were going to be, I was old enough that Mother asked me if I wanted to take my Christmas gifts. And of course, I said, no, I'm going to open them right now. Typical kid. But Roger and David weren't that old. So Uncle Lloyd, in packing that car, had to pack the boys' toys. And I can see him yet. Stupid things. Why in the world am I having to pack this stuff? And this was so rare for him to be fussing. It's one of the very few times I ever saw him really fuss about doing something. But he was having a heck of a time trying to get all of mine and Mama's stuff, all four of their stuff, all in the trunk of this poor little car. Well, we take off across country, and we start getting close to this little town. And Mama said, Lloyd, you stop when we get there because I need some cigarettes. Now, why Mama did this, I don't know, but I guarantee you she did it. We stopped at this little town. Uncle Lloyd stopped in front of a drugstore. And Mom went in, and I was right behind her, because I was always Mama's shadow. Where Mama went, I was pretty close behind. And they had all these beautiful glass shelves, and all these pretty knickknacks all over the place, and it looked like a wonderland there. So Mother walked up to the counter, and she ordered her cigarettes. And of all stupid things for her to do, she handed this clerk a $100 bill. Now, in those days, Mama probably didn't have much more than $100 on her from picking cotton all fall. And this woman had an apron on, like a woman that was cooking in the kitchen. And she gave Mama change back for 20. Mom said, that wasn't a 20 I gave you, that was a $100 bill. No. There's no $100 bill in this cash register, it was a 20. She said, it's in your pocket. Well, they made such a ruckus about it that the owner came. And he said, well, I can't search my employee. And there's no $100 bill in this cash register. So that's the end of that discussion. Mother turned around. And as little as I was reading her like a book. I thought, every one of those damn glass shelves are coming down. By accident. It's going to happen. I can feel it.
You people don't know what you've done.
I could feel it. And Mama looked around, and she looked around again, and she turned around and walked out. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. And when we got in the car, she started telling her brother what had happened. And she said, when she got to the end of it, she said, I almost accidentally on purpose broke all those glass shelves.
Accidentally on purpose broke every one of those glass shelves.
And I sat there thinking, yeah, that's exactly what you were thinking. Oh, goodness.
Do you remember that, Grandma? You do?
No.
You never did get your change for a $100 bill, did you?
No.
That woman cheated you out of all that
But
money.
as Mother turned around, she said, I hope the hell you enjoy that $100 because I picked cotton all fall to get that money so I could go to California to see my mother and daddy. And she turned around and she looked at those shelves. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute. They're coming down. But bless Mama's heart, she walked right on out. She got in the car and she told her brother, that's what I almost did. And I said, yeah.
Probably that and a little more.
Yeah. Accidentally on purpose.
Jeez.
Oh, me. But we survived it, huh, Mama?
Yeah, we went through all of it, but
But hell, Lloyd didn't have any money, Lucille didn't have any money, Mother and I didn't have any money. Nobody knew what money was. If we had 50 cents, we thought we were rich.
So were you able to go see your? Were you able to go see your parents?
What?
Were you able to go see your parents anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Were you?
We were halfway there.
We were halfway there then. But Mother was mad. I don't mean just a little bit. And until this day, if I've got a $100 bill in my hand, when I get ready to hand it to a clerk, I will show it. And I'll say, this is a $100 bill. And most of them will say, yes, I noticed. And I'm thinking to myself, if you only knew the story. Oh, goodness.
Well, that's why John says that he can never find anybody to cash a $100 bill for him. He says, you know, we'll go to fill up the gas tank or something, and if he's got a $100 bill and that's all he's got, he says, you go in there and take it. I'm not taking it in there. They won't. He says, they just look at me and say they're not cashing a $100 bill. We don't have change for that, they say. John, that's crazy. But that's what he does. If he's got a $100 bill, he makes me go get the change because he knows.
Why won't they change it for him?
Because he wears the wrong hat.
Because he wears that hat with the skull on it.
They don't like John with that skull hat on.
But he puts a cowboy hat on, Grandma, and everybody loves the man.
It's
he
true.
He can't stand it. He thinks he knows it's the hat, and yeah, he loves the cowboy hat. He just can't stand everybody loving him. So he intentionally wears a skull cap so everybody doesn't pay attention to him. So
He gets ready to go to the market and mama, and he'll say, well, do I want somebody to speak to me today or don't I? As according to what hat he puts
depends
on.
what his mood is. If he's in a good mood, he'll wear the cowboy hat, and if he doesn't want anybody to talk to him, he'll wear the skull cap.
He says, I don't want these people taking up all my time. That's exactly what he says.
Yep, I don't want him taking up all my time.
Talking to me.
These people don't have anything better to do than to talk to little old me.
Yeah.
My gosh, what a bunch of losers talking to me all the time. But I've seen that. I've been with him standing in line at the supermarket, and he'll have his cowboy hat on, and the people around will all start talking to him, and not talking to me, just talking to him. And he'll look at me, he'll go, what in the world? Why are they talking to me? And I'll say, it's because of that damn hat. They love that cowboy hat.
Ted,
It's a perception. It's something that people see a cowboy hat and they
think cowboy.
Perceive you as a nice person.
Even with that big tummy of his, they still think he's a good boy.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter who you are underneath that cowboy hat. You are an American
Cowboy.
traditional cowboy, and you are a hero underneath that hat. You might as well have on a
red, white, and blue flag.
red, white, and blue hat. Yeah.
And have Roy Rogers tattooed on your forehead.
Yeah, because you're the epitome of the American culture, and so yeah.
Hey, you're doing it again.
What?
I have no idea
Get
what you're
me off
talking about.
camera.
Who says I have you on camera? Now, how do you expect me to gather all these wonderful memories? We're not going to rely on Kathy's brain alone, can we?
As the years go by, you won't even have time to look at that.
Oh, hogwash.
You want to make a bet? How do
Well,
you
I would
expect?
win,
How do you expect David and Jacob Griffin to know what's going on? How do you expect them to have a record of this Christmas?
Now, let me ask you a question. Seriously. Don't you really wish in your heart of hearts that you'd had something like that when Grandpa Clarkson and Grandpa Brown were telling you kids stories?
See, she has the same exact question we asked you just yesterday and the day before. The same question.
Well, what do you think, Grandma? Wouldn't you have liked to have had something like this when they were sitting around telling stories?
It would have probably scared me to death.
You would love it.
You're so
You would
full
be
of it.
Sitting around watching it right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted. I agree with Ted. But if it'll make you feel better, I'll turn it off for this session.